You're not using LinkedIn as a content creator in 2026, you are missing out on so many opportunities. No matter whether you want to grow your own business, whether you want to get more clients or find work, there is so much on the platform that you can use to attract opportunities with ease. I've done this over the last few years, building my audience to over 19,000 followers, attracting paid partnerships, brand deals, sponsorships, and speaking opportunities, as well as clients, and building my own community for founders and creators. Today, I'm going to share with you the exact strategy I've used to attract all of these opportunities so you can do it too. So in less than 2 years, I've built my audience to almost 20,000 followers. And that has been through following this 3-step strategy that I'm going to share with you today. I wish somebody had told me this sooner, because often when we're thinking about content creation, we often lean towards platforms like Instagram or TikTok and feel like they're the places that we should be. However, if you are a founder or a business owner, or even wanting to progress in your career, LinkedIn is a great place for that, because there are people in those positions that you want to connect with that you can find easily on the platform. Everybody has their job title listed, and you can find people by company too. So it's very easy to get in front of those brands and those companies that you want to be noticed by as well. So my name is Emma Redfern, and I'm the founder of Lucky Founders, a community for content creators and founders who want to create their own luck through building their personal brands. So this is my profile that you can see here. As you can see, it is branded with the Lucky Founders colours, which is the community that I am building so that people recognise me and the brand together. So if you've got your own business, make sure that your LinkedIn profile looks like it's an asset, a part of your business too. It needs to fit as part of the bigger ecosystem of your brand, so it's recognisable, because simply by using colours and the same fonts and typefaces, you can tie in your brand image together and amplify that reach of your branding so people can recognize you and you start to become known and associated with your brand as well. That is the power of personal branding, so it's definitely not a step to miss. And over 50% of people don't have complete LinkedIn profiles. So before we get into the actual strategy, this is the first step I would recommend to anybody who wants to build on LinkedIn, because this is what people are going to look at. This is your landing page for your business. So make sure you've got this complete before you get started with the next step. We want to think about personal branding as a visibility spectrum. So you go from being invisible all the way through to a category of 1. So invisible is often where most people start. People don't know you in your industry, you're very new and you've never done this before. Then you go up the scale to be known in your network. So this might be locally or maybe a little bit online, where you start to move up the spectrum to get noticed by potential clients and customers. Then you may be seen as an industry expert or a thought leader in your space. This is where brands will start getting interested in you, because you become known by an audience and trusted by that audience too. That is the alignment you want to create if you want to be a content creator. And then finally, you would be a category of 1. And not everybody reaches this status, nor do you have to, but it's a great place to be if you're thinking about how you build legacy in what you're doing. A category of 1 is where you create your own niche. You become known for your own space in the industry and you own that. So people know you for that one thing. This may not apply to everybody, but if you start to think about what you could be known for, this will help carve out that specific area where you are really good at what you do, you've got great knowledge, and you can deliver something that nobody else can. And to help you find that, you need to find your creator unique selling point. Often in business, we talk about unique selling points. So what makes you different to your competitors? What makes you stand out? And there's so many different areas that you can focus on with this. But when you're a creator, you also want to be thinking about this too. So this could be a combination of your experience, your background, the challenges and things that you've overcome, and what you're good at and what you've got results in as well. So you really want to be thinking, how do I prove credibility in this space? What am I good at beyond everything else in what I do? And how can I become known for this one thing? And what is that area of interest for you? So you've got to feel lit up and excited about it. It's not easy to be creating content consistently about a topic if you don't enjoy it. So you need to make sure that you find it fun and enjoyable as well too. So next, you want to show brands how they would fit into your content. So before you get any paid brand deals or start having conversations with brands, you need to do the work to create the content so that people can see what it would be like if they were to be featured in your content on LinkedIn. So over the last few years, I've naturally integrated some of my favorite products and services into my content and share how I've genuinely used them to help me grow my business. This not only builds more trust with my audience when I do paid partnerships because they know that I only share tools that I love and I use, but at the same time, it shows brands how it can work and what kind of engagement you get when you share a brand related post. So you want to show, not tell, when it comes to creating content like this, and then you can add it to your portfolio or share it with brands so they can see what is possible for them as well if they work with you on LinkedIn. So integrated sponsorship into your content that feels natural is what most brands are looking for. So thinking about how you can showcase this in your content is a great way to show brands what they could get if they work with you. And I've also created a content tracker where I track all of my metrics and which brands have partnered with me on the posts. So I can make sure I can see the spread of content across the month and how many brand partnerships I'm doing, but also how they've performed versus my other non-sponsored content as well. This is a great way to keep track of everything as a content creator and do all that back-end work which keeps you organized, but also look at trends and what works well and what doesn't over time. I can also use things like Claude to analyze this data and then help me inform future posts so that I can keep improving my content and increase my engagement rate as well. So this is something to think about when you are creating content, and think about how it fits into a strategy that allows you to prove to brands how effective working with you would be. And if you comment content tracker on this video, I will share this template that I use to track my content, and that's helped me get to over 19,000 followers on LinkedIn for free. So just comment below content tracker and I will share that with you so you can start tracking your content as well. And finally, this one is the most exciting for me, and that is thinking about what brands fit into your brand world. So before we were talking about show, not tell, and integrate those brands that you already love and use into your content. Now we want to be thinking about the brand world that you're creating as a founder or a content creator. So what do you want to be aligned with? What brands naturally fit into your brand world that you use all the time or you come across in the work that you do? You want to think about this because this is the natural integration that you can get when you are working with brands that feels the most aligned to your audience. As you build your audience as a content creator, you get to know them on a really high level of detail, and it allows you to understand what they want, what will engage them, what will interest them. So you want to be thinking about what brands fit into your world and which ones don't. This allows you to future-proof what you're doing, so you don't just work with any brand and it feels unaligned and people start to lose trust and credibility with you. You want to be thinking about what brands fit into that world for you. It's worth thinking outside the box too when it comes to being a content creator on LinkedIn. Brands might not just want to work on content, they might want to work on events too. So how could you create connection with your audience in real life or online to allow them to get that deeper connection with the audience that the brands are looking for? It's always worth suggesting this to the brand if you're working with them, because they may not have thought of this before, or it may align with a further brand campaign that they're working on too. And if you've not started on LinkedIn yet, this may seem a little bit overwhelming, but if you can build with the strategy in place, thinking about how you find your unique selling point as a creator, how you start showing, not telling brands that you love them and you want to work with them, but showing how they exactly fit into your content, and then think about your wider brand world and which brands feel like they're aligned, so you can start to create content that attracts them in rather than you chasing those brands in the future too. And the final step to building your brand world is to make it into a portfolio that you can share with brands, bringing to life the content that you've already made and collating it in one place, but also sharing your rates and how people can work with you depending on the brands that you're pitching. So I've created one of these, and this is what I share directly with the brands that I want to work with so that they can understand what I do, what kind of content I create, and how I am different to other people in my industry. So you can combine everything you've learned in this video and put this into your portfolio. And if you'd like me to do a walkthrough of the portfolio itself, please do let me know in the comments and I can create a future video on that as well. But I found this really useful to bring it all together and just make sure that if you do have a portfolio, you're updating it regularly with the most recent content and the recent stats around the content that you've created and the people that you've reached, so that brands can see the full effect of your personal brand working on LinkedIn. So if you've been wondering about taking LinkedIn more seriously and posting content and becoming a content creator on the platform. I hope this video has helped you understand the possibilities that are out there and the strategy that you should be using to get started and get noticed by those brands that are on your vision board. And we share more of this in our Lucky Founders Club community. I'll leave information about when you can join the next cohort in the description if you're interested, but these are all of the tips and templates we share inside that community too. So you can be working alongside other founders and content creators to keep you accountable on this journey, because you don't want to wait until it's too late for the compounding effect of LinkedIn and the growth that you can see on the platform. It's only getting harder to grow. So if you're wanting to see progress and see results, you really want to start taking action and becoming a content creator on the platform as soon as you can. I hope you've enjoyed this video and I look forward to seeing you in the next one.